Okay. So what is front end? Something that we see in the browser. Okay. Something that we see in the browser is called front end. What is database? So when you enter the data, when you enter the data in your register form or in the form that is being provided in front end, so the data will be permanently stored in the database. Okay, database is a place where the data will be stored permanently. Whereas front end means that's something that you interact with. Okay, the front end means nothing but something that you see and that you interact with. Okay, so in the application, you generally all the users will be interacted with the user interface itself. Okay, let us say you have a username and a password and some re-enter password. And a submit button as a registration form. Just suppose that, okay? Just suppose we have username here, password here, with that. Yeah. Re-enter password, okay? And we have a submit button here. So just consider this is my registration form. Whereas in the database, the data will be stored in the form of rows and columns, like in the form of tables, okay? Want to create my password, okay? So let us consider. Let us say I have registered through my user interface and my data is stored in the database. Okay. So what are the technologies that we use in the front end? HTML. HTML is the language. Is the only language used to create the web browser interface. Okay. What is it? Hypertext.
Markup language.
Is that? Markup language. Okay, right. Sorry for the laugh. Hey, no. HTML5. So actually, it's the version 5. Okay, the same HTML, but it's a version 5. Okay, Ravi. So just by using the HTML, you can just create the skeleton of the web page. That's it. Okay. The web page with HTML is something like, a woman without makeup. Okay. So if you want to give some makeup, you have to use this one. CSS.
Yes, sir.
Cascading style sheet. Okay. And along with this, we'll be covering the CSS3 topic also, which is a version 3 of CSS, where we have some advanced cascading style sheet properties. So we'll be covering that. And along with this, we have projects, user interface projects. Stop your keep going. So we'll be covering the responsive CSS. See, responsive CSS is not something which is separately available. Actually, there will be few tags in CSS3, some media queries or something like that. So we'll be using those CSS3 content. With that CSS, that with those properties, we can produce a responsive website. Something, generally a responsive website means, let us say this particular TV is something like 40-inch. See, if you open the if you open your website in this particular screen, it must fit this particular 40-inch. So whenever you open your web browser website in this particular laptop, so something like it is be something like 15.6-inch, right? So it must respond to this particular screen. And if you open your website in a tab, it will be some 11-inch, 11 or 11.5-inch. So it must fit that particular screen. If you open your mobile, it has to fit that screen. So responsive CSS means, so whenever you create a website with responsive CSS, it must responsive to all the screens. Okay. And importantly, I'll be teaching the compatibility. See, of course, nowadays compatibility is not an issue. So once upon a time, there was no some templates, or there is no bootstraps, something like that. So but I'll tell you how to make a compatible website manually, so that you will understand what mechanism the template creators on great designers basically use. Okay. So HTML and CSS, and after that we'll be explaining this Java script. Then jQuery, and then Bootstrap, and then React. It's chala. It's very important. Yeah, exactly. These are the topics that we cover in front end. Okay. Coming to the back end, we'll be covering the Oracle 19c. Oracle 19c, MongoDB, not Mango. It's a NoSQL. This is name itself, just a name tag. So see this. Why? What is this? What is this middle box? This is called as backend or controller or in call is as application layer and sort of backend layer or controller or application layer. Okay. So these are the different names for this one. Okay, let me see. Generally, what this particular application layer do? What is application layer does? See this. You are giving. See, once you're done with the registration, again you want to log into this particular system. You are trying to log into your system, log into your Facebook account. See this. What it will do? This business layer this business layer will get the username and password that you have given. Okay, and also it will get the username and password from the database. Okay, if username sent by user equal to username inside the database, and if password equals to password sent by username user equal to password that is already stored in the database, then you will be redirected to the login page, or else you will be redirected again to the login page. So that's called as business logic. Okay, that's called as business logic. So we can call, so what is the main purpose of the backend? We write the business code inside the backend. Okay, business code, business logic. Okay, business logic or application. So like some algorithms or some logics. Okay, based on our requirement and functionality, we write it. See, where? Yeah, yes, I'm just demonstrating. See, these are the three different type of, because these are three different layers, because we'll be covering the front end as well as database panel simultaneously. That's the reason why I'm explaining you. I'm explaining you all the three layers again. So this is what I demonstrated in the beginning classes. And I'm again saying this because we'll be covering the front end and database parallel. Okay. For 5 days, I'll be starting this database. So as of now, we'll be covering the front end. Okay. Ravi, did you understand? Yes. Cool. So you don't think this is something really very big code? HTML is one of the easiest languages you'll be going to learn. Okay. Yeah. Very easiest program. See this, there is a Microsoft error here. It's not supposed to show on. Okay, maybe not a mistake. See, for this application layer, there are a lot of programming languages, and there are a lot of technologies. Okay, you can use something like PHP, for Java, JSP, Servlet, ASP, as ASP.NET. Spring Boot,